AfterBuzz TV, starting place to the likes of WWE female superstars Cathy, Kelley, Sonya, Deville, and Zelina Vega proudly presents Women's Wrestling Weekly, the world's first podcast and YouTube series dedicated exclusively to women's wrestling, featuring all the latest news as well as interviews with top superstars in the industry. And now, AfterBuzz TV's own gorgeous lady of wrestling, TK Trinidad.
Bonjour, you're watching Women's Wrestling Weekly, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, aka the Canadian Assassin, and she is back for another one. Please welcome Emily May. She hails from the Valley of Los Angeles, and she's a farmer's daughter. Maybe, we'll find out more. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you for hopping in.
Yes,
Appreciate
of course. I'm always here for you.
Thank you so much. Trust me, you understand. The show is a lot, so definitely any hand is a helping hand, and I really appreciate it. However, this show is about women's wrestlers, not about us, and we have amazing guests like we do every single week, and this week is no exception. She is the manager of Alya Fox. She's also the manager of AAA, the newest Shine Tag Team Champions of the world. I just added that. Of the world.
Of the world.
Please welcome Alya Fox.
Hey!
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. So let's get into it. You have a little bit of a different kind of take on it. You actually own a training school, so WWA4 training school in Atlanta.
Yes.
So how did that all come about?
Well, actually, I'm from San Diego, and my husband, Fox, is from Connecticut, and we both moved to Atlanta the same year, but we didn't know each other. And so when I met him, he said he was training to be a professional wrestler, and he would take me to the WWA4. And I always loved wrestling, and I just never knew that you could train to do that. I just thought, oh, they just pick you, like, or you have to be an actress, like, whatever that is.
Right.
I didn't know you could, like, train. So, honestly, our goal was, like, well, one day we would love to own this school. Because the old owner, Mr. Frank, was just getting up in age. He had owned, it was used to be the old WCW Power Factory. It was opened in 1995. So long story short, we inherited the school. He said that he's never seen someone with such work ethic as Fox, and my business end with my degree, like I do the business stuff, and then he trains. So he said that he doesn't trust anybody else to keep the legacy going. So
nice.
Wow.
And a lot of people have come out of the school. So you have Moose from Impact,
Yeah.
Kira Hogan, who's been on the show plenty of times, and you've seen her on WoW and Impact as well.
Yeah.
Any other folks that have come through your school that we should know of?
We have a lot of people. Apollo Crews, that's one of our very good friends.
Yeah.
The fireman, D.A. Brewer, he's the ref at NXT. Austin Theory, he just got signed. He's probably the fastest signee. He joined in 2016, only trained by Fox, and now he's signed to WWE within 3 years.
Wow.
And so we pretty much just like Moose, Apollo Crews, Austin, and D.A. Brewer, where we would say like Fox has had a definite hand in assist, like, like helping, like either wrestling and growing their careers together, and, networking and stuff, to just straight up training and getting the person in.
When you inherited the school, what were the things that you wanted to uphold while, in the training school? Like, what are the things that you look for and try to instill in the wrestlers that you're putting out there?
Yeah, well, we were trying to buy it for a few years, but the prices were just too crazy. So finally, Mr. Frank just got so old. He was like, you know what? Darn it, here you. But we were like, 80,000. We don't have that. But mainly just the work ethic. Like, Mr. Frank took no crap from anybody. Our motto is, we don't need any rocks in our garden. There's a lot of people who start schools, or they're in schools, or people think they have fake rivalries with us. It's insane. Like, we're just here trying to wrestle and make people stars, So we just want to keep it like that. No BS, work ethic. Like, Fox was always the first one there and the last one to leave for like 7 years. So we just make sure like we're open on holidays. We really don't ever close, only like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's pretty much the work ethic and like, and then I came in with my like business communication, like marketing. So then I like, before there was no branding, like there was no like one set font, one set color, a good like website, like all this stuff. So I come in to make that a process. So it kind of just revamped the whole school in a whole.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So you are like the engine behind the school, but then you're also the manager for your husband, and then you're also the manager for AAA. So how did, well, obviously he's your husband, so how did that come about?
Like I said, I always loved wrestling. I have an older brother. We wrestled all the time. I wrestled my friends in high school. My mom used to make fun of me. So she thinks it's hilarious that I married a wrestler. So I started going to the training school, and they would let me train and stuff, but I also was in college at the time, and I already put off going to college for so long. I was like, literally let me focus on getting my degree.
Right.
And pretty much I would just dibble and dabble, manage here and there. I started managing other students from the wrestling school just so that people didn't just associate me with Fox.
Right.
And then I just kept, then we moved to Connecticut, and then I really like started building my name, like with Beyond Wrestling and CZW and different 2CW, different shows like that. And then by the time I wanted to manage him at Evolve, when he was like the first ever Evolve champion, I guess it had to be like 2013 or something. They weren't ready. Like I had to earn my stripes. So I just started off collecting t-shirts I collected t-shirts, the ring attire for like 3 years. I did social media for Evolve for a year, and then finally when he returned to Evolve at Evolve 50, at Evolve 94 or 56, they were like, okay, like
now she's ready.
Yeah.
And then
so a lot of people think I'm just like got shoved in there just because of him, but I really collected shirts for 3 years.
Yeah, you worked really hard to get there.
I know, collecting shirts and all that stuff is not easy.
I get it. Like I've run merch tables, so I get it.
Yes, you try to show up looking all cute, like maybe they'll put me on tonight, but
yeah,
I get it.
So then you're also the manager at AAA, and they're the current Shine Championship. So I saw the pictures when that happened. How did this team come about? And then take us to, them getting championships, or you guys getting championships.
Okay, great. I know, it's so amazing. I'm so happy for them. So pretty much I was already doing Evolve, and the owner of Shine, I've known him for years. So he would ask me if I wanted to do Shine in the beginning, and I kind of wasn't quite sure at that time. Fox and I were traveling a lot together, and I was like, do I have time to like go to college and do all this and travel separately? So finally I was like, okay, I'm ready for Shine. Like, can I audition for that? But he'd already seen me on Evolve. He knows who I am. So pretty much he just had me come down to a show in Florida, and I agented the matches there, scouted a bunch of people, and I got to choose who I thought would be, like, I would want to manage or agent. And I chose Aja and Ariel because I felt like they were in Shine for a while, but they kind of weren't getting it, like, opportunities, or like they weren't being used correctly, I don't feel,
Yeah.
So they actually make fun of me. They say, you're a manager 24/7, because I'm literally swinging deals. Like, we need this opportunity. Like, what can we do to do this? Like, we need these girls, like, they're like the same. I mean, sometimes it shows like just the same people fighting for the same thing, like we needed to spice it up. So once I came in, I think just they needed a voice with someone who was comfortable. And to be like, we're not being used right, like let's keep earning our spot till we could get into the main event. And that's my goal. I want them to be in the main event position. So we just kept showing up and showing out, and
there you go.
We had to get our title shot.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. I literally just had a blonde moment because Ariel, we've had on the show a couple of times, but she goes by Big Swole on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
When you said all your names, I'm like, AAA.
Yes.
Did you just get that now?
I really just got that. I'm like,
oh,
it's okay. It's all right.
I got the 2 A's. I'm like, okay, Ayla, Aja, I got that. But
and
Big
Ariel,
Swole, I'm like,
yes, when
it's
I
okay.
came, she
We
still
love
was
you,
Ariel.
TK. It's okay. We love
Ariel.
oh my gosh. Well, shout to that was such a blonde moment.
And then again, it's not just, it's AAA, so you can party, and it's all of our names.
Nice.
I love it.
Did you come up with the name, or who came up with the name?
It was collective, but when it came, when I come up with Fox, we always like, hey, A, like that's our thing to get the crowd hype.
Yeah.
So we were thinking like, how could we think of a name? They were like, oh, triple A, but we didn't want to spell it like AAA, like battery.
Right.
We're like, oh, it should be triple A.
There
so
you go.
it all
Nice.
just formed together. Yeah.
So
So you've managed your husband for a while, and then this new adventure with the new champions. What is the difference between the two of them managing both?
The difference is that Fox is already, I think he's a living legend. You know, he's already established. He already is an amazing wrestler. They say I add charisma. I'm just there to cheer him on. Woo, go baby, go. You know, like the girls, I feel I am more their agent, where in the sense of we're going to work together and fight for opportunities and to be seen and to grow and to give good representation for African American females in the industry. So I feel like it's just, you know, like with Fox, I'm definitely an asset, but also an accessory. With the girls, it's like, this is our business. Let's do this.
now, yeah. Speaking of that, like, I mean, first shout out to Black Wrestling Alliance, their Instagram page, because they showcase so many,
seriously,
not even African American wrestlers, like just
everybody
Black wrestlers from all over the world. But as far as, you know, it seems like you've been in the game for a while. How has being, you know, Black in wrestling affected it? And do you have any stories to go with that?
I do think so. I think, honestly, the hardest part for me, or I've experienced, is the representation, really. Like, so when I first wanted to be a manager, it's like 7 years ago, it's like, I have to have a very long extensions. I have to have all these things, because I do feel like if you want to be a star, you gotta look like a star. So whatever WWE is saying the stars look like get it together, you know?
Right.
But it is kind of like, I am natural. So I always have to think of, like, you know, what should I do with my hair for society to think that I fit the part?
Yeah, hair is a thing.
And I feel like you never know, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, fans are going to be like, oh my God, she's so hot, or she's so pretty, or whatever. Like, even though it's like, you're not an object, but that's what they're going to be. So a lot of times, like, maybe you're not the majority of the fans' ideal of what they think they want to see, you know, but you can't really, I feel like we're changing that. Like, I feel like there wasn't that many Black girls in wrestling before, but now I feel like there's so many. So that's really good.
And what about women in wrestling? You know, there's, like we're on, I don't know, episode 80 something. And I think aside from Ariel and maybe one or two other people, they've come on twice on the show. Everybody else has been brand new, and there's still, you know, way more to go. How do you think women's wrestling has evolved since, you know, you started?
I think that there's always been, like, badass women wrestlers back in the day. Like, I love Lisa Marie so much. Like, she went in, you know, but they just weren't given the platform for that. So I kind of feel that there's always been great women's wrestling, but now we're just emphasizing that, look what they could do. But it's like, some of them been doing that, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so I feel like it's great that it's blowing up. I think it's great that the women's shows have become way more serious in a competitive aspect. I love Candice LeRae, Taya, Valkyrie. I like all the way they wrestle. Like, I've always really liked them. So I feel like it's just nice that they're being more treated equally in the sense of athleticism and not just looks.
Now, any plans as far as getting in the ring yourself and establishing a career in the wrestling ring?
I do wrestle sometimes. I am the general manager at the WWE. So if I get into a storyline, you know, where I end up getting all upset at somebody, then I have had matches. If you YouTube Alya Fox matches, there's only 4. They happen about once every year only. But I'll get in there. I like to say I'm better. I could go in. I'm a little Vicky Guerrero, Stephanie McMahon mix up. But honestly, I did try to be a full-blown wrestler, and honestly, hands down, I just have to commend everybody because it hurts, and I don't like being in pain. Yeah, so I'll come in and do my little thing, but I don't want to wake up wobbling around the next day. So
yeah, you just sprinkle your sauce on it.
Yeah,
you
want to walk the next day.
Let me just sprinkle a little seasoning on there, and I really am just kind of like, my character is really like who I am. Like, I kind of like just I love being the manager. I love getting in when I need to, getting out when I don't. Yeah.
And now, is there anybody that you want to manage that you're like, you have your eye on, that you're like, man, if I get my hands on this person, sky's the limit?
I think I could have that with Big Swole and Aja. I think the main goal is not who I can manage, but I would want to be like a female Paul Heyman, where it doesn't matter who I manage. Who I manage is who's going to be on the top versus them taking me, you know?
Right.
Yeah. What's some advice, you know, because you run this training school, and what's some advice you could give young wrestlers that want to either be a manager or be a wrestler?
I think that you definitely should it doesn't matter how old you are, whatever, 18, 20, 30, whatever, you could start if this is your dream. And you just need to, they always say like, ears open, mouth closed. You need to pick a training school that has a trainer with credentials and a successful story in professional wrestling to learn from. And I say just go for it, and you'll learn so many things. Just every show you go to, who you run into, you never know who's going to be there. I actually finally met Paul Heyman when Evolve did the WWE Network, and he was there. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yes, and Vicky Guerrero. And I told them both, you guys are my inspiration as a manager. Like, I want to have successful careers like
it's
you
amazing.
Guys, you know?
Yeah. It's amazing meeting your idols like that, because it just helps push you even further to reach your dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would just say everyone should just do it.
Now, as far as dreams are concerned, well, I have two questions. So the first question is, how do you guys book, like for you and your husband, how is that booked? Do they book you guys as a package, or like how does that process, what does that process look like?
Yeah, they would be like, oh, we want Fox and Ayla, or Fox, Ayla, and the Skull. Like, they just say what they would want.
And then what's the game plan for your career and your husband's career, as far as, you know, you have the wrestling school, which is a lot, but is there anything else on top of that?
Well, yeah, a lot of the successful wrestlers' main goal at the end of it all is to have a wrestling school, because when you're too old to wrestle, you need to have some type of steady income and something you still love. So we kind of beat the ball on that end. So right now we have the WWN Live, which is the umbrella company for Evolve, Shine, FIP, Style Battle, ACW, all that. And, you know, the owner of that is a talent scout at NXT. So we kind of we're using the school in the sense of to make other people's dreams come true. So they get to meet the NXT trainers and hear exactly what they need to do. So it's all just right there. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll go there. Maybe Fox will be a trainer there, or whatever it takes, you know. But I know that he really, really loves training at the school and making people's dreams come true. And, you know, he has a very successful career, and I've never seen anybody work as hard as him. I wish I had like half of his work ethic, because he doesn't stop. So, and me, I mean, I'll go anywhere. Whatever happens, say if he goes to WWE and they don't sign me, like I have a lot of talents. I could be a ref, I could be a seamstress, I could do anything, you know?
Yeah.
So, I'm like,
all right, 12 jobs, I like it.
But yeah. So I mean, yeah, I would do obviously any promotion. The sky's the limit, whatever.
And then what's your game plan for AAA? Like, where do you want to see them? So they're tag team champions now, but what's world dominance?
World dominance. No, I want them to get competitive, like real, like very competitive matches that will go down in the history book. Like I want to pick our own dang opponents and be like, we want to wrestle these girls and put on an amazing show. And I want a main event tag team championship match at Shine, and I want to have them have tag team matches for the Shine singles Shine championship. You know, I want to change the main event scene at Shine, and I hope that through their wrestling, through my managing, that can happen.
Give me goosebumps.
I know, right? I felt it. I feel like history's going to be made. It's going to happen.
So we're going to get into rapid hot tags real
Wrestling
quick.
Rapid Hot Tag.
So I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Always early or always late?
I'm sorry, the phone broke up. What'd you say?
Oh, always early or always late?
Always late.
What is the one thing you love about yourself?
Well, I love my teeth.
Okay. You have nice looking teeth.
Beautiful smile.
Last show you binge watched.
Thank you.
Last show you binge watched.
Harlots.
If you were a crayon, what color would you be?
Do you say if I was a crayon, what color would I be?
Yep. If you were a crayon, what color would you be?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia. Favorite junk food?
Hot Cheetos.
I love how you took the time to bring it down. If you were to listen to one album,
I love to eat, so I really had to think of that.
if you were to listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
What was the question?
If you were to listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh man. Dang, I don't even. I'm not really into music that much. So I guess it would have to be like a Lauryn Hill album.
Okay, I like it. I dig it. I love Lauryn Hill. Thank you so much for hopping on the show with us. Where can people find you?
Thank you for having me. I'm on Instagram, AylaTheFox_, and I'm on Twitter, AylaTheFox.
There you have it. Thank you so much, Ayla, for hopping on the show. We look forward to seeing you doing all those big things, managing folks, creating new careers, bringing people to the top, world dominance, all that good stuff. And definitely, I'm a fan of AAA.
Yes, I can't wait to see where they go.
Thank you.
Go.
So thank you so much for hopping on the show.
See this gear we got, girls.
Oh my! Oh,
okay.
Intriguing.
Right.
We're
They're not
our
ready
interest
for
is
us.
piqued.
Yeah. I like it. All right. Thank you so much. You are official friend of the show. You can come on the show whenever you want. Just shoot us an email, and you are good to go. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem. She was awesome.
I love her so much.
Yes. It's like had me thinking I wanted a career in managing, but I'm like, I don't think I'm built,
Okay.
I'm not that talented.
So for another episode, but I did manage for a few years.
You managed for for you guys who don't know, Emily is married to a wrestler.
I am married to a wrestler, and I did manage for him for a few years. So
And
we could talk about that at some point.
Hobo or Baines the Destroyer.
Baines the Destroyer.
Doesn't he have like 5 different names?
Yeah, he's a bunch of names, but
That's for another episode, but we'll definitely talk about all of that, because if you guys don't know, I hosted NXT with Hobo, aka Brandon, aka Baines the Destroyer, and I have so many stories.
So I totally know, I totally get this manager world, and then also I am the retail merch, marketing machine behind him. So I get it. I totally relate.
Every wrestler needs a good partner.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we're gonna get into the star of the week real quick. Flobito has a little something for us. Shout out to Flobo for making it happen, because without him and without Emily and without you guys, none of this would be happening. So star of the week. Star of the week was amazing. There's just so many female wrestlers.
Hold on, say that one more time.
Huh?
Whenever you're ready.
The star of the week was amazing. There's so many female wrestlers. It's just like the tip of the iceberg. There's no more adding to the pile.
Yes, it's a beautiful time to be a woman in wrestling.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time to be alive. It's a beautiful time to be a wrestler. To beautiful time to watch wrestling. There's just so much going on.
To be here with you,
Now, where can people find you, Emily?
So you can find me on all social media platforms at Emily May Heller.
And thank you guys so much for watching our show. Without you guys, we would be the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms, AfterBuzz TV. And also women's wrestling on all social media platforms, WPW Weekly. My name is TK Trinidad, and you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. Till next week, guys. Ciao.
From executive producer Kevin Undergaro, producer TK Trinidad, and me, Maria Menounos, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Women's Wrestling Weekly. To help TK, the crew, and women's wrestling in general, we ask that you subscribe, rate, and comment on Women's Wrestling Weekly at Apple Podcasts, and subscribe to our AfterBuzz TV wrestling channel on YouTube for this and other outstanding wrestling content. Buzz you later.